Beneath the vast blue ocean, where sunlight barely touches the sand before vanishing into eternal darkness, unimaginable treasures lie hidden. Some belong only to legend, but others are real, swallowed by storms and time, only to resurface centuries later in moments of astonishing discovery. Among the most extraordinary of these tales is the saga of Nuestra Señora de Atocha, a treasure galleon of the Spanish Empire, lost in a hurricane in 1622 and rediscovered more than 350 years later, carrying a fortune worth billions. In the early 1600s, Spain stood as one of the world's most powerful empires. Its colonies in South America and the Caribbean were rivers of wealth, producing silver from Potosi in Bolivia, gold from Peru, emeralds from Colombia, and endless luxury goods traded across the globe. Every year, heavily armed treasure fleets set sail from Havana or Veracruz, bound for Spain, their holds packed with riches that fueled wars, monarchies, and empires. Among them was Nuestra Señora de Atocha, the crown jewel of the convoy. Loaded with over 40 tons of silver ingots, more than 1,000 bars of gold, crates of Colombian emeralds, pearls, ivory, and fine goods, Atocha was a floating vault of unimaginable wealth. On September 4, 1622, the fleet left Havana with 28 ships. Only 2 days later, disaster struck. A violent hurricane tore through the Florida Keys, scattering the convoy. The Atocha, weighed down by her immense cargo, was no match for the storm. Within hours, she was ripped apart and dragged to the seafloor. More than 260 souls perished with her, and only a handful survived by clinging to floating wreckage. The Spanish crown immediately dispatched salvage expeditions, sending divers in crude wooden diving bells, desperately trying to recover their fortune. They managed to retrieve fragments from other wrecks in the fleet, but the Atocha's resting place eluded them. Strong currents, shifting sands, and treacherous reefs made her grave impossible to locate. With time, the search was abandoned, and the treasure galleon passed into legend. For centuries, stories of the Atocha grew. Sailors whispered of her cursed fortune, warning that those who pursued it faced doom. Ships sank, fortunes were lost, lives destroyed, all supposedly linked to the cursed dream of the Atocha. Yet this very aura of mystery only deepened humanity's obsession. Somewhere beneath the turquoise waters of the Keys, hundreds of millions in silver and gold were said to be waiting for the one bold, or foolish, enough to claim them. By the mid-20th century, one man emerged who refused to dismiss the story as legend. His name was Mel Fisher, an American diver with an unshakable belief that the Atocha could be found. In 1969, with little more than determination, a team of friends, and his family by his side, Fisher began the hunt. Year after year, they scoured the seabed with metal detectors, sonar, and maps reconstructed from fragile Spanish archives. Most days ended in disappointment, rusted shards of pottery, a few corroded coins, fragments of ballast. The money ran out. Fisher sold his possessions, mortgaged his future, and borrowed from anyone who would believe in his dream. Tragedy struck hardest when his son and daughter-in-law were killed during one of the dives. The dream seemed cursed indeed. Many called Fisher a madman chasing ghosts, a fool throwing his life away. Yet he refused to give up. Every morning he rallied his exhausted crew with the same words, "Today's the day." And then, after 16 relentless years, those words came true. On July 20, 1985, one of Fisher's divers spotted a glimmer in the sand. What they uncovered next would stun the world. Thousands of silver coins shimmered under the water, golden bars stacked like bricks, emeralds glowing even in the dim light of the seabed. After 3.5 centuries of silence, the Atocha had revealed herself. The estimated value of the treasure was staggering, over $400 million in 1985, a fortune that would be worth far more today. Among the finds were 40 tons of silver ingots, hundreds of gold bars, exquisite jewelry, and rare emeralds from the Muso mines of Colombia, including one gemstone so flawless it was valued in the tens of millions alone. But with such wealth came conflict. The state of Florida immediately claimed ownership, igniting a fierce legal battle. For years, lawyers clashed in court over the fate of the treasure. Finally, the case reached the United States Supreme Court, which ruled in Fisher's favor. The Atocha treasure legally belonged to him and his team. It was a victory not just of fortune, but of faith, perseverance, and the refusal to surrender. Today, visitors can witness parts of this legendary treasure at the Mel Fisher Maritime Museum in Key West, Florida, where glittering gold chains, massive silver ingots, and ancient emeralds are displayed for the public. Yet the saga is far from over. Experts believe a large portion of the cargo still lies buried beneath sand and coral, waiting for discovery. Spanish records describe thousands of emeralds and bars of gold that have never been recovered, meaning the Atocha's curse, or blessing, still lingers in the deep. The story of the Atocha is not just about gold and silver. It is about the unyielding human spirit, the thin line between obsession and destiny, and the timeless allure of the unknown. For Mel Fisher, the dream of a lifetime was vindicated. For the world, his discovery proved that legends can step out of myth and into reality. And so, the question remains, would you dare to risk everything, your wealth, your years, perhaps even your life, for a chance to touch a fortune lost to the sea? Or would you walk away, leaving the Atocha to sleep forever in her watery grave? The ocean still holds its secrets, and perhaps, somewhere out there, another dreamer whispers to himself, "Today's the day."